Well, to say the least, I actually had a pretty decent Thanksgiving, if you ask me, ladies and gentlemen. My Green Bay Packers beat the Detroit Lions to sweep the Lions this year, to say the least. Can't get any better than that, to ask me, to say the least. Am I right, people? What is going on, everybody? It has been a hot-ass minute since basically Monday of this week, to say the least. Welcome to episode Lucas E. on Productions on YouTube, to say the least. Your podcast for Saturday, November 29th, 2025. Lucas E. Allen Productions, to say the least. For anything, follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Lucas E. Allen. Watch on YouTube, only place to get Lucas E. Allen, by the way. They decided to basically get rid of this audio platforms, to say the least. If you're watching on any YouTube platform today, to say the least, hit the like button on today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button, you've done so already. Turn the bell for our post notifications and miss an upload on YouTube. And always leave a comment on my episode for your Saturday, November 29th, 2025, to say the least. We might realize something. There's no intro at the top of this podcast, my music intro. Because I got a new phone, by the way. I've had a couple of days or so, but I've been using my old phone and my podcast phone, to say the least. But to say the least, my old phone decided not to charge anymore, so I can't even use my file I use for my intro, to say the least. But there you go, to say the least. No more intro, to say the least. I'm sorry, disappointed not to say the least, like I said, people. Let's get into your podcast today, shall we? And by the way, before I get into anything, I need to do else. I'm going to do 2 more uploads today. Right now it's 2:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Syracuse, New York, by the way. I'm going to do your Monday Night Raw, November 28th, 2024 review. And also your AEW Dynamite review for November 26th, 2025. I probably won't get to Dynamite. I probably post that until Monday. But I'm hoping to get that done. So I know I do SmackDown and also Survivor Series. Probably Survivor Series day to day, everybody, to say at least. So I'm hoping to get to that, to say at least. To say be for like SmackDown and Survivor Series for Monday. Hopefully, knock on wood. I highly doubt that happens, to say the least. Let's get on your topics today. Let's get Dominik Mysterio tops ESPN list of top 30 pro wrestlers under the age of 30 years old. Be discussing that list. I might even do like next week's podcast. I might even do like my own top 30 list or top 10 list. Or there's 30 wrestlers to start at the age of 30, to say the least. There's top 30. I'm not going to discuss all 30. I'm going to discuss only the top 10. I might even do like a top 10 for next week's podcast. I might even do that, to say the least. Let me know about that, to say the least. And now I might even do like the second upload to a YouTube channel about that. Lucas E. I might even do that, to say the least. Let me know if Thomas section on YouTube I ever have. Try me to say for next week's podcast and save it to my second YouTube channel, Lucas E. Allen. Let me know about that, to say the least. We're also discussing WWE releases women's edition trailer for WrestleMania 42. Be discussing that. Also, Seth Rollins explains why he hates WWE Unreal. Can't say I blame him. We'll discuss that. Also discussing more Seth Rollins. He provides recovery timeline following his shoulder surgery. Be discussing that. Also, Becky Lynch twice today. So both husband and wife duo of Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins discussing twice respectively in today's podcast. Becky Lynch claims a WWE star would blacklist women if they didn't sleep with him. Be discussing that. Also, speaking of Becky, say listen to the article we discuss here. Becky Lynch discusses her post-WWE WrestleMania 35 plans, including mentioning Lacey Evans. You know what? About she not liking the build-up terrible after WrestleMania 35. You know what? She's correct. Her post, she defeated Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 35, ultimately going to a feud and nobody fucking gives a flying shit about, and Lacey Evans feuding with Becky Lynch. Any more to explain about that? She said it was terrible, to say at least, spoiler alert. And she's not wrong at all. It was fucking terrible. The match she had was terrible with Lacey Evans. And she admits that. But of course, you know, Lacey Evans, the stubborn bitch that she is. I'm sorry to call a woman bitch, but still. Can't stand Lacey Evans, to say the least. She responded to Becky's comments about her. We're discussing that as well. Also, I'll be discussing, and pulling my notes down here, Nikki Bella says her WWE return has been quite lonely without her sister Brie Bella. Wouldn't say that, but whatever, we'll be discussing that. Also, Andrade El Idolo says he had returned to WWE in 2024 because of Charlotte Flair. Don't know about that, but we're going to discuss that. Also, finish off your WWE Survivor Series 2025 preview and predictions on this podcast as well. As always, thank you for watching Lucas C. Allen Productions and maybe as well as Conversation Saturday podcast. Your Saturday, November 29, 2025 on Lucas C. Allen Productions on YouTube to set Esconte's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And starting with, you guessed it, Dominik Mysterio tops ESPN lists of top 30 pro wrestlers under the age of 30 years old. Before I get any of my thoughts on this, let's go to the list right now. Number one, obviously, you got Dominik Mysterio. Number two, you got Kyle Fletcher from AEW. This kind of shocked me, not going to lie. Over guys on this list, or girls on this, like Rhea Ripley, MJF, Tiffany Stratton, Braun Breaker. Let's discuss obviously a big one, Oba Femi, and Roxanne Perez too. And let's discuss more in the list and so on. But Kyle Fletcher is number two. I found that to be kind of interesting if you ask me. Don't know if I like that at all, but it is what it is, to say the least. Number three, you got Rhea Ripley. Number four, you got MJF. I found it interesting that Rhea Ripley and MJF are below Kyle Fletcher. Kind of interesting if you ask me, to say the least. Number five, you got Tiffany Stratton, as well as above Tiffany Stratton, too. I found that interesting. Especially number six, Braun Breaker, who should be, honestly, number two at bare minimum. I honestly put him at number one, honestly. But he's number six. Let's see, number seven, you got Blake Monroe, the reigning defending NXT Women's North American Champion, the lovely Blake Monroe. I love her. I think she's in a good spot there, number seven. I would say I'll put her in maybe number five, maybe, but we'll probably make another list on this sooner around later. Well, number six, you got Blake Monroe. Number eight, you got Oba Femi. I think he should be a lot higher, being in the top five. Number nine, you got Roxanne Perez. I think she should be higher too. And number 10, you got Leon Slater. I don't like Dominik number one. I understand to a point. But even him at number one over like Braun Breaker and Rhea Ripley, MJF. Even Blake Monroe and Roxanne Perez, definitely Oba Femi too. I like Dominik. He's doing great work on Monday Night Raw. I really like. I don't even mind him at number one, honestly. More than the rest of his problems I have this list. Like Kyle Fletcher, number two. I like Kyle Fletcher a lot. I think he should be in the top 10. I'm going to put him in the back half of the top to make number 9, honestly. And Leon Slater on this I don't know who else is in the top 3. I didn't read the whole list. I only wanted the top 10. But still, I don't know if I like that all to say, at least. But you got Kyle Fletcher, number 2. I thought it was the most shocking one out of them all. Like, Kyle Fletcher, even above his other AEW partner, MJF in AEW. That'd have to be kind of interesting if you ask me. I don't know if I like that. I definitely probably wouldn't like that if you ask me. I feel like MJF should be the first AEW guy off the top of my head, but whatever, bro. I'll probably give my opinions on this in a second YouTube channel, Lucas C. Allen. I'm probably thinking my 30. I'll probably think about it. I'll probably do a second channel, Lucas C. Allen, on this YouTube channel, to say at least, and second channel as well. And I was second called Lucas C. Allen Productions, but it's a story from Andrade, to say at least. I'm probably going to do the second channel, Lucas C. Allen. Leave a link in the description below, to say at least. About that, I'm probably going to do like a top 30 on 30 wrestlers under the age of 30 years old. I'll probably do that, to say at least. Let me know your thoughts in this in the comment section below on the YouTube, to say your thoughts on his top 10 lists of ESPN, to say at least. Moving on to WWE releases Women's Edition trailer for WrestleMania 42. WWE has officially released a Women's Edition of a trailer for WrestleMania 42, which is scheduled to take place on Saturday, April 18th, and Sunday, November again, April 19th of 2026, obviously, at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Women's Edition trailer showcases several of the WWE's top champions and key figures who have been heavily featured in recent storylines. The stars featured in promotional video include Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, and Jade Cargill, the reigning defending WWE Women's Champion. WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill, who was named Charlotte Flair as her extreme opponent for WrestleMania, is strongly featured, hinting at a potential major match for the star, who is often discussed as being positioned for something sizable at the event. I don't think Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill on a WrestleMania collision course. I don't think that yet. But I think those two would be at WrestleMania, definitely. I feel like with Charlotte Flair, we're going one-on-one with Alexa Bliss, probably more than likely. And Jade Cargill will probably defend that WWE Women's Championship, probably more likely going to return Bianca Belair marriage to win the Elimination Chamber, or even Royal Rumble to say at least. That's, I think, is going to be happening for Jade and Charlotte to say at least, not colliding one-on-one at all. Nor do I think that's to be a good match on paper at all. I think Charlotte's a very good pro wrestler. Jade's okay and decent. I feel like those two should not be at WrestleMania whatsoever. That's my thoughts on that, though, to say at least. But I did like the trailer for this. I actually like this a lot more than the men. And plus, it feels like, and it's probably like less like, I feel like the men's was just like so like potentially amped up to this big thing that's something that's not. Like they really put the feet involved. And no, they did kind of do it with the women too. But it was at least we knew expected. Like this was not supposed to be something big for the women. Like they did with the men. The men they attacked like it was nothing, not even something to do with the guy and let the men to say at least. I didn't mind the trailer at all for the women's division this series. I actually didn't mind it at all. I just wish that we didn't do these at all permanent at all to say at least. Because it kind of gives like a way like WrestleMania to a point. But then again, if they already do it with the men, they're probably going to do it with the women to say at least. I understand their standpoint there. Like I said, I like the women's a lot better than the freaking men's. The men's just like a fucking dud if you ask me. That was like boring beyond boring to be can be that fucking men's trailer for WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas if you ask me. Those are my thoughts on this to say at least as well. Moving on to Seth Rollins explains why he hates WWE Unreal. Can't say I blame him at all. WWE stars Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins offered different views on a new Netflix docuseries WWE Unreal, which aims to offer an unprecedented behind-the-scenes look at the company. The documentary was produced by Netflix this year, but had received mixed reviews from those in the business, obviously. The Unreal concept was detailed how matches are put together, how talent interacts backstage, like I said, putting away kayfabe, obviously, and even how referees communicate with both wrestlers and a production team to coordinate the action. While this insight is compelling for some, others argue that revealing these processes ruins the magic of professional wrestling, which it obviously does if you ask me. An appearance on Brett Kreischer's Something Burning show, Lynch and Rollins shared their thoughts on the series, with Lynch first stating that she would have loved the show as a fan. Lynch first stated her perspective. We've talked about this when we're fans, and when we loved to have seen it. We would have loved to have seen it, to say at least, in quote. I don't know about that, Becky, if you ask me. That's just my honest opinion on that. Rollins, however, took a more critical stance on the series, admitting that he generally dislikes the idea of fully revealing the industry's inner workings. He noted that while everyone is aware that wrestling is predetermined, the power of the business lies in the ability to create doubt. Rollins then added his perspective, which I definitely agree with Seth Rollins on. I agree more on Seth Rollins than I do with Becky Lynch on this. Like, WWE Unreal it's getting away to fucking business. It's ruining kayfabe even more so week by week with that, or more of these shows to say at least with WWE Unreal. I absolutely can't stand the WWE Unreal docuseries. I haven't even watched it. Nor do I give a shit to watch it. It's going to ruin the business more and more and more. Not that the wrestlers don't do it themselves. Half of them, honestly. But this is the icing on the cake, people. It just ruins the freaking prestige and the precedence that we once had in wrestling. Like we get, it's predetermined. We understand that. Even Rollins stated in this interview, he understands that as well. But it really kind of even puts the exclamation point on how wrestling sucks in 2025. It puts the exclamation point on what's honest content creators are saying. Even Seth Rollins here says it as well. That's my thoughts on this, though, to say the least. Speaking of Seth Rollins, he provides a recovery timeline following soldier surgery. Seth Rollins recently provided an update on his soldier injury and potential return date. Rollins suffered the injury at WWE Crown Jewel after performing a coast-to-coast headbutt and landed hard. Despite the injury, Rollins finished the match by defeating undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes to win a WWE 2025 Crown Jewel Championship. Following the event, The injury forced Rollins to relinquish the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, a title that he actively defended at the time. The injury is a legitimate one, and Rollins had undergone surgery to repair the damage. Speaking of Brett Crusher, excuse me, can't understand. Creshire, I think it's Creshire, excuse me. Like I said, his Something's Burning show. Rollins gave a candid update on his recovery process and what a comeback might look like. He noted that his initial focus is getting out of his current productive swing, excuse me. He first commented on the current phase of his recovery. He says, and I quote, once I get it off me in the sling, obviously, which is in like another month or so, and then it might be full vacation mode for a little while before I lock in and have to start training and I get ready for a comeback. He says, and I quote, when asked by Brett Kreischer about the ramp-up process to his return, Rollins explained that that the path back to the ring would likely be gradual. He detailed his expectations for training when he was plans to fully focus on a return into competition. Rollins replied to the question about his training schedule by stating, and I quote, it'll probably be gradual. I don't even really know. My guess is 8 to 12 weeks or so. Okay, now I have to stop eating like an asshole. Okay, that was interesting. Their comedy stuff from Rollins there. Probably 12 weeks plus we'll be moving right into WrestleMania season. I'm hoping around February after all the holiday stuff. I can start to be like, lock in, no more BS, and quote the sailors from Seth Rollins. Like I said, probably he'll be like around February. I don't think he's going to be in the Royal Rumble match. He might be around the time when Elimination Chamber is just about to kick in. Like, it's going to take place, the end of February, the last day of February 28th, 2026 in Chicago, Illinois. So it might be clear to return an Elimination Chamber. It could be that, to say at least. Should be interesting when Seth Rollins is inevitably cleared to come back to in-ring competition. Should be probably like in 2026, probably after the Royal Rumble. I don't think he'd be cleared by Rumble time. I highly doubt that'd be the case. But then again, not to say it's a different sport, but Joe Burrow, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, came back from a turf toe injury. He was supposed to be back by early December. And they're coming out a week before, in late November, by around Thanksgiving, when he beat the Baltimore Ravens, obviously. Not gonna it's a completely different sport, obviously, professional wrestling, professional football, but still. Those are my thoughts on this, to say at least, as well. Time to use a sports analogy to compare to Seth Rollins' injury, to say at least. Let me know in the comment section what you think of that, to say at least. Moving on to Becky Lynch claims a WWE star would blacklist women if they didn't sleep with him. Now, before I get into this, I originally thought of Vince McMahon. And definitely Vince McMahon, this definitely fits Vince McMahon's playbook, if you ask me. But she said WWE star. I don't know if she means a wrestler or just some personnel backstage. I think she actually means a wrestler. Who that is, I don't know. But if it's anything, it's Vince McMahon. But then again, she does say a star. I'm going to discuss the rest of the report right here, though. Becky Lynch recently pulled back on the curtain on that dark backstage secret from her early days in WWE. Speaking on Something's Burn show, Lynch revealed that women were warned explicitly about a particular male wrestler. Yeah, he said male wrestler. Oh, there you go. Allegedly used his status against female talent. The male wrestler, who Lynch chose not to name, was known for allegedly using his power to control women's careers, depending on whether or not they agreed to sleep with him. Now, and also, another one that comes off the top of my head, I'm not going to give any names on it, I'm not going to guess on who this would be, but another name that came to the top of my head when I read that report just now, is kind of like Matt Riddle, who's definitely known as Matt Riddle. Like, that's another one that could be in my line of thinking, especially coming to male wrestlers. Well, I'm just going to randomly guess. I'm not saying Matt Riddle's like that. Like, I know he has his own, allegation stuff he had in the past, but still. I'm not, putting names out there like Becky didn't do here. I'm probably more weird than Becky Lynch here, honestly. Lynch explained her precarious situation a female talent faced on doing male wrestler on this male wrestler on the main roster. She knew that the environment for women at the time was characterized by explicit warnings to stay away from the boys in general, but this individual presented a specific, unavoidable threat to a women's career. Dear God, bro, that sounds bad. The risk of being blacklisted by the stars existed whether the women engaged with him or not. Lynch explained that the tightrope women were focused to walk in sorts. She says, "Not cool. I'm not going to name names," like she said there. But there was a guy on the main roster who was like, be careful, because if one, he'll try to sleep with you. If he sleeps with you, then he'll blacklist you. And if he tries to sleep with you and you don't sleep with him, he'll also blacklist you." So there was this line that you had to walk, this tight rope, you know, him definitely. But anyway, at one point it was like, how do you walk in this line, end quote. Like I said, it could be Matt Riddle. It sounds like another person like Matt Riddle would do. It sounds like some Riddle would do. I'm not going to name names at all. This is the only one I'm probably going to give in this pre-report here. Let me know what you think who it is, honestly, if you're interested in this story at all. So I just don't say if you are, but whatever, man. Let me know in the comment section what you think this guy can be, to say the least. Moving on, Becky Lynch discusses her post-WWE WrestleMania 35 plans, or lack thereof, if you ask me. Becky Lynch recently looked back on her post-WrestleMania program, where she described as terrible. There you go, like I said earlier in the podcast today. The program in question immediately followed one of the biggest wins of her career, main event WrestleMania 35 in 2019 at MetLife Stadium. That night, Lynch defeated Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Should be honestly been technically Ronda Rousey or whatever. Triple threat match for the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships, and not just the Women's and Women's World Championships now, obviously. Become the first woman to pin Rousey in WWE, and walking away as Becky 2 belts. Following the historic win, Lynch entered into a storyline program with then newcomer Lacey Evans. Oh God, I'm getting fucking flashbacks of that shit. Getting flashbacks to Lacey Evans and World Wrestling Entertainment to WWE. Oh fucking joy. Many fans immediately perceived the program as a significant downshift in momentum. No shit, obviously. Instead, for Lynch, who had just spent nearly a year in the hottest feud in the company with Rousey and Flair, Lynch herself confirmed this sentiment while speaking with Something's Burning show of Brett Kreischer. I start working with Lacey Evans right out of the gate. God bless her, but she wasn't for me to go from main event of WrestleMania to somebody who hadn't done anything was terrible. End quote. Like, she didn't put down Lacey at all. She said, God bless her. She didn't put down Lacey Evans whatsoever. Obviously, the next segment, Lacey Evans took these comments to heart and started becoming soft. We're going to discuss that right in the next segment, obviously. I'm going to go really big time on Lacey Evans there. What she said there was fucking horrendous from Lacey Evans. But Becky Lynch comments right here were straight on facts. Whether Lacey Evans likes it or not. In fact, I'd probably be more harsh on Lacey Evans as Becky Lynch was hard on Lacey Evans here. I was probably more hard on Lacey than I would be Becky. So you should bless Becky Lynch there, Lacey. But I'll be honest, Becky Lynch made some very factual comments. She didn't put down Lacey at all. She said, God bless her. There you go. What more do you want there, Lacey? We're going to discuss this right now, actually, when I think about the Lacey Evans comments on Becky Lynch. Moving on, so said Lacey Evans responds to Becky Lynch's comments about her. A public dispute has erupted between Becky Lynch, I don't know about dispute at all, Becky did not say anything bad at all, and former WWE talent Lacey Evans following Lynch's recent negative comments. What is so negative? She's stating the truth. Is negative comments just stating the truth, I guess? God forbid we give other wrestlers constructive fucking criticism like Becky Lynch did to Lacey Evans. God forbid. God forbid, according to these damn dirts I'm getting support from, obviously. Negative comments about her 2019 storyline. Evans, who departed in WWE in 2023, posted an aggressive response on social media. I thought this is fucking laughable. Making accusations of unprofessional conduct by Lynch. Oh, here we fucking go with this rant, boys and girls. A note on this is that Lynch was not criticizing Evans but she was criticizing the booking of her the Angle, like I said in past segments, which is obviously correct. As previously noted, Becky Lynch appeared on Brett Kreischer's Something Burning podcast and offered her assessment of the 2019 Angle. Following the dismention of Lynch's positive podcast comments, Lacey Evans, who's no longer with the WWE, obviously, thank fucking God, obviously, is now focused on family, OnlyFans, as she should stay. As I feel like every bad wrestler in recent memory, minus Mandy Rose and Corey, they were decent for what they were. But Lacey Evans obviously sucked. Who said that, obviously. OnlyFans and Ron, a bakery, posted a multi-part response on X, formerly known as Twitter, obviously. Evans' response concluded with direct accusations of backstage unprofessionalism and mocking Lynch's skills and background. Oh, fucking joy. Can't wait to discuss this fucking sleepable fucking story from bullshit Evans here. Her initial post on X, from Twitter, stated, "The only person who cried more than you was the baby that had on my hip while taking all the opportunities. If and when I come back, you will still do nothing but gently shake my hand and say how cute my little family is backstage." What a god for fucking bid we give constructive criticism. Lacey Evans and as well as Enzo Amore call people SAWFT Swaft. Well, guess what, Lacey? You are SOFT soft. You are a complete definition of a soft, fucking egotistical, freaking bitch here. That's the truth. You want to call me unprofessional? By all means, I don't give a shit. Just stating the truth, and so is Becky Lynch about your true unprofessional ass. That's what you are, Lacey. That's what you are. And plus, I heard you had backstage drama. Did you not, Lacey? Didn't you have backstage drama? Oh my god, but these, God forbid, wrestlers take fucking constructive criticism from other wrestlers nonetheless. It's not like a fan saying, this is an actual pro wrestler, one of the best, already best of all, one of the best of all time, in Becky Lynch. Some people call her the GOAT. I don't personally think she's the GOAT, but that's my opinion. But yeah, she's definitely up there, I'll give you that. But to God forbid, we give wrestlers constructive criticism. For fans, even wrestlers themselves. For other wrestlers. Lacey Evans is a fucking soft little bitch here. Just stating the fact here. I don't hate women at all. I love women. My favorite wrestler is a fucking female. Which you beaten, Lacey, because you were unprofessional, like Vince McMahon was yourself. One of many reasons why she left the WWE. Obviously, Mercedes Moné, obviously. Former Sasha Banks. You cannot be that fucking, just a fucking idiot, Lacey. You are the complete fucking definition of female professional wrestling as the word soft. When you look up soft in women's wrestling, the first wrestler that comes up is Lacey Evans. At least one of the few first ones. She cannot be fucking so fucking egotistical for fucking truth comments. This is, honestly, the support is fucking laughable of how stupid Lacey Evans truly is. Those are my thoughts on this below to say the least. Let me know in the comments what you think of this to say the least. By the way, before we get into this next report here, there was more to my notes on that, but I just got so fucking pissed off about Lacey Evans insulting Becky Lynch for no reason. I don't even care what else you want me to say about her. To say the least. So let's move on. There's still more of my notes here about that segment, but still, we're going to move on here. Let's fuck Lacey Evans, obviously. Nikki Bella says her WWE return has been quite lonely without her sister Brie on her side. Don't know about that, Nikki. I'm kind of enjoying. I'm not saying you're having the best run here, but whatever. Nikki Bella recently opened up about her current return to WWE, admitting that her experience she felt incomplete without her sister Brie Bella. Nikki made the comments while promoting her Women's World Championship match against Stephanie Becker on ESPN's Get Up show. Nikki noted that she was loved every moment of her return, describing it as an empowering experience. Don't tell the fans that the haters towards Nikki Bella, obviously. Her current run marks her attempt to win her first WWE Gold in over a decade. However, she openly confessed that performing without her twin sister Brie has been a lonely endeavor. She knows that return as a mother has changed her perspective on the experience. It's actually been lonely, quite lonely, Nikki said about Brie not being there with her. We both have had our own different runs where we've been solo, but I think coming into this now as a mom, I feel like I have a very much different mindset. I wish she was there. I really do. I think as a pro athlete, when you're coming to an end of what you can give, whether that's on the field or in the ring, and then when what you start to think of the moments that you want to make sure before it's all over. And I built not only this legacy with Brie, but this empire with her and outside of her to join me. I think we all know that the Bella twins have to force the Bella twins have together. It's been quite a journey without her, but I hope I can finish it with her. But it's definitely understand was her twin sister Brie. Obviously, I'm just not a big fan of Brie Bella. Honestly, it's not my cup of tea. I like Nikki. I love Nikki actually. I just don't like Brie honestly. Nothing against her personally, just not my favorite. She's not a great wrestler if you ask me. Neither is Nikki, but at least Nikki tries honestly. Brie to me does not try honestly. That's just what I feel. When Get Up host Mike Greenberg asked Nikki if fans could expect a surprise appearance from Brie at Survivor Series premium live event in her hometown. Obviously, this takes place tonight, obviously, from San Diego, California. Nikki gave a non-communical yet hopeful response. I'm not sure, but I always will have her on speed dial, so you never know, unquote. I don't think she'll be there tonight unless she comes out after the match. I don't see Nikki Bella win the Women's World Championship tonight. Spoiler on predictions, obviously. Unless Brie Bella does return, and then I can see Nikki winning a championship. Well, that pissed off a lot of Bella twin haters, bro. Wouldn't that piss off a lot of people, especially Stephanie Vaquera fans and Brie and Nikki Bella haters, obviously. On one hand, I kind of want, but then again, you can't do that to Stephanie. Stephanie won this championship in September. That'd be kind of ridiculous if you ask me. Having her drop a title to Nikki Bella would be kind of stupid if you ask me. Nothing against Nikki Bella. I love Nikki. One of my personal favorites, honestly. But still, I'd rather that not be the case and have Brie Bella not back, honestly. But whatever, man. I probably expect Nikki to have Brie by her side eventually on this run. Her final run, obviously, the Bella Twins character. But waiting to find out what that, though, to say the least. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the story, to say the least. It's one final piece of news here. We're getting to your Survivor Series predictions here. Andrade El Idolo says he returned to WWE in 2024 because of Charlotte Flair, his ex-wife, obviously. So don't know about that. We're going to discuss the report here right now. Andrade El Idolo opened up the reasons behind the second departure from WWE and the ongoing legal issues that are currently preventing him from competing. We're not going to discuss here, though. Speaking on TV, Azteca's Depor TV, I think is how you say it. Andrade described his decision to return to the company and his eventual departure as a very long story. Andrade revealed that his primary motivation for leaving All Elite Wrestling to return to WWE World Wrestling Entertainment, obviously, last year was directly related to his then wife, Charlotte Flair. He says, and I quote, in a company called AEW, and at that time I was happy, and Andrade stated, but I was married, my wife was Charlotte Flair, and she works with WWE, obviously, so the idea was to return to WWE, to be with her, and many things later happened. I was a little upset, and we got divorced, end quote. But I don't understand that. Seriously, you're happy in AEW because your wife is in WWE, then you leave? I'm sorry, have you seen Keith Lee and Mia Yim? Keith Lee is obviously in AEW. Granted, he's been home recently with health issues. But Mia Yim is also with the WWE. I don't understand that type of reasoning there for Andrade. I'm a big fan of Andrade. I think he's a great pro wrestler. I feel kind of ridiculous that he's on a 12-year-long freaking non-compete clause. It's so stupid. That is stupid. But this response, I'm sorry, I just can't ultimately believe that, honestly. Andrade then clarified his separation ended in the best way. And quote, he then mentioned his brief return to AEW at Dynamite in Hollywood, Florida. He then implied that WWE was not pleased. He says, and quote, I imagine they didn't like it, he said, before adding that he is very grateful to WWE, end quote. But I don't like the fact he's in a year-long non-complete clause. I just don't understand the reason why he went to go back to WWE if it's only because his wife was there. Charlotte Flair, obviously. Maybe I'm just missing something here to say, so let me know in the comments section what you think of this to say, at least if you ask me. And finally, now, your WWE Survivor Series 2025 preview and predictions. Starting with the Women's War Games match, obviously. If I'm trying to go match order with this, I can see a world where Nikki and Stephanie had not the second to last match, but still, we're going to discuss it right now. AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, weird saying that there, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus taking on Becky Lynch, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, in the Women's War Games match. I am going with AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky to win. I can see a world where the heel side of things win here, and Becky Lynch probably more likely win in pinfall by defeating AJ Lee, obviously. I can definitely see a world about that. But to me, I decided to go with the heel side for the Men's War Games match, even though I don't like that either, but still. There's a chance, because I don't think both baby faces are winning War Games, so I think both heels are winning for each War Games match. I don't think that all either. I know last year all the baby faces won War Games, so it was kind of boring if you ask me. But still, man. I'm going with the baby faces here in the Women's War Games match, who are AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Ripley, and Io Sky, picking up the win here. I've not been impressed with this Women's War Games build. It hasn't been okay. I would say it's been okay at the maximum. But honestly, not the best if you ask me. I feel like you would rather see Becky Lynch going here as the Women's Intercontinental Champion, obviously. But obviously, it did not happen because Maxine Dupree won the championship on Raw. I feel like it's a stupid decision still to this day, obviously. But whatever, I'm going with AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky win Women's War Games here tonight. Moving on, so Dominik Mysterio taking on John Cena for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I'm going with Dominik Mysterio to win back his WWE Intercontinental Championship and defeating John Cena tonight. This is probably the most predictable, besides maybe Nikki and Stephanie to a point. I feel like this is more predictable than that match. Because I don't see John Cena, his final match, I don't see him defending the Intercontinental Championship, especially against Gunther. I don't think we don't need a Gunther in a second run as Intercontinental Champion right now. Especially because I think that's to be the final match, obviously, for John Cena. Because we got Gunther, you got Gunther. Jey Uso won on SmackDown last night against Rusev. And you got LA Knight and also somebody else. Who else is on the other side? I think it was just Rusev, honestly. But still, I seriously, I don't see freaking Gunther win the Intercontinental Championship on John Cena's final match. So with that, I'm going with Dominik Mysterio to become the new Intercontinental Champion for the second time around, winning back his championship from John Cena here tonight in San Diego, California, at WWE Survivor Series War Games. Should be a fun match. If you didn't we got from the Raw match a couple weeks ago in Boston, Massachusetts, that match was freaking great if you ask me, and this probably could even be even better. Especially if we could return Liv Morgan. Wouldn't that be something, man? We see a return lovely Liv Morgan. Especially since Children's Bay members probably more likely out here to say the least. We'll see about that though. We'll see what Dominik Mysterio wins back the Intercontinental Championship. Do think he will tonight at War Games to say the least, or Survivor Series. Moving on, it's Nikki Bella. Should be taking on the WWE Women's World Champion, reigning defending champion Stephanie Vaquer for the said WWE Women's World Championship. I'm going with Miss Stephanie Vaquer to retain her championship here tonight. This is probably more predictable than honestly John Cena and Dominik Mysterio. Can I see, like I mentioned in this podcast, where Brie Bella makes an appearance potentially at Survivor Series tonight? I can see a little bit. But then again, I don't think we need to take a ton off Stephanie right now. I know Nikki is doing her heel thing, to say the least, but I prefer her maybe probably in a non-title feud for right now. Like, people want Nikki Bella to win the Women's World Championships tonight. Like, I don't know about that. I love Nikki. I don't hate Nikki Bella at all. I'm actually quite a fan of Nikki Bella. I prefer freaking Brie. I love Nikki Bella. I'm just not a fan towards Brie Bella, honestly. But I love Nikki to death. I think she was freaking very good for what she was. She definitely tries a lot. It's just, is she perfect? Absolutely not. I'll admit that. But is she bad? I don't think she's bad, people. She's not bad. She at least tries. I think she's actually getting better and better. We ain't finding out what that though to say. I think this could be an underrated match. You were writing off Nikki. Oh, she's washed. Oh, she was never good. Oh, she's just a reality show diva, like Liv Morgan said to her on Raw one of these weeks ago when she returned. Is that all true? It could be. You never know. I think Nikki, though, at least was one of the few divas that actually tried back in that day. Especially when she's trying to prove she at least wants to be there. Unlike some of the divas probably back in today, that era, compared to now's era, to say at least. I think Nikki Bella's incredibly overhated in the wrestling community. Idiot wrestling community, if you ask me. But that's just me. What the fuck do I know, bro? What the fuck do I know, honestly? But I'm honestly still going with Stephanie if that character retained the Women's World Championship tonight. I don't think you should take the title off whatsoever. Would I mind if to piss off Nikki Bella haters? Absolutely not. But Stephanie is putting pretty good matches on Raw, I would say. With the Women's World Championship. Like, you don't need to take the title off right now. I think Roxanne Perez personally should be one to end the championship from Stephanie's reign. Or probably Rhea Ripley. Hopefully not, obviously, but still. I think Roxy should be the one to dethrone Stephanie, probably maybe at Royal Rumble 2026 instead of Saudi Arabia. Do I think it's the right place for Roxanne to win her first main roster championship? No. But that's just WWE stupidity for you 101, if you ask me. But I'm going with Stephanie Becker to retain the WWE Women's World Championship tonight at Survivor Series War Games in San Diego, California. Moving on to your main event, more than likely. CM Punk, the reigning defending WWE World Heavyweight Champion, to be teamed with undisputed WWE Champion, reigning defending undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and the Usos, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Be taking on Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre with a voice crack there. In the men's War Games match. I don't like picking the heel side, but I'm going to pick the heels, honestly, of Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre to pick up the win tonight at War Games. Do I like that decision? No, obviously. If I want one heel team to win, it'd probably be the Women's War Games match. Like, I just see, but I see Brock Lesnar just I see one of Jey Uso or Cody Rhodes turn on the heel babyface team. And I don't see Cody Rhodes turn heel tonight. I really don't. I can see Jimmy Uso turn as well. I mean, it's come down to one of the Usos. If one of the Usos are turning, then the heel team is winning here. Which I think that'll be the case. I think Jey Uso honestly turns heel. Honestly. Like, they've been developing this Roman Reigns and Jey Uso starting with his twin brother Jimmy. And perhaps you've already seen Jimmy Uso turn on his brother Jey already. We saw that at SummerSlam and Tribal Compact for the Undisputed Universal Championship against Roman Reigns. That was shit. What I can see here, I'll probably see with Jey, honestly, compared to Jimmy, honestly. But I think that'll be the case. Because, well, with whether it's the Women's War Games match or the Men's War Games match, I've seen somebody turn on the other. But I see, like, potentially like a Dakota Kai turn her back on Tegan Nox that Women's War Games match. That'd be good. No, because I love that turn by Dakota Kai at Women's War Games that year. And I think it was the first ever Women's War Games match, was it not? See, that was freaking badass. And she beat the living shit out of Tegan Nox. But so, I think Jey Uso turns on Jimmy and the rest of the Bloodline members, including Cody and Punk. So with that, I'm going with the heel team of Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre to win the main event Men's War Games match. I feel like something decently big will happen here. But so with that, I'm going with the heel team to win here. Go over my predictions again. I got AJ Lee, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky. Defeating Becky Lynch, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. And the Women's War Games match, I got Dominik Mysterio as well. defeating John Cena to win back to the WWE Intercontinental Championship. I got Stephanie Vaquer retaining the WWE Women's World Championship against Nikki Bella. More likely in the main event, I got Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker, Braun Strowman, Logan Paul, and Drew McIntyre defeating CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Jimmy, and Jey Uso as well in the main event in the men's War Games match. Let me know in the comment section what you think of my 2025 WWE Survivor Series preview and predictions. I also put this on the YouTube Shorts section, also Instagram Reels and TikTok videos as well for a little short content to say, so stay tuned for that, honestly, and we get TikTok, Instagram, or even YouTube here to say at least. And that is my Lucas E. Allen Productions podcast for your Saturday, November 29, 2025. Thank y'all for watching Lucas E. Allen Productions on YouTube for your Saturday podcast for Saturday, November 29, 2025. Hopefully, knock on wood, I can have your next upload on YouTube will be your Monday Night Raw, November 24, 2025 review. Until next time, it's just to be next time. I repeat, everybody, I am out. Take care. Love y'all big time, to say the least.